In terms of JIRA concepts, I think it's important to understand what JIRA, which is one of the applications in the Atlassian stack, what that actually does for you. So I call it a task and a workflow engine, but really it's a little bit more. Imagine you've got plenty of information in your and data in your environment, whether it's due dates, it's descriptions, it's assignees, it's budgets, it's requirements, it might be a priority. There's many different pieces of information that you're going to want to manage. So you can imagine there's lots of raw data that you would like to take control of. Now, what Atlassian does is allow you to take your raw data and package it into what we call objects. So, for example, you've got a task. If you're doing agile project management, you might have epics and stories. If you're doing risk management in your project, you might decide to package up that data into risks. Then we can also do change, we can do incident, we can do problem, IT service requests, procurement requests. So any item that really needs to be put on a workflow, we can package it up. So there's the data packaged into an object, and then we attach business rules to it. So that's the workflow, any SLAs, service level agreements, and then we can attach triggers. So what that means is we can essentially do whatever we want. So for example, you receive an incident that's a level 1, severity 1, you might want to trigger an event, and that event might be just to notify the senior management, or it might be to escalate that issue to the top of the pile. There's many ways and there's many options. With the trigger, we can actually execute code or execute a script, which means we can essentially do whatever we want because we're going to run some code that says go and do something somewhere. So you've got your data, it's packaged up into objects, and then we attach the business rules to it. And then using querying, there's an Atlassian on board. JIRA has some basic querying, which is a WYSIWYG type scenario. Show me all the error reports that are in Project X received in the last 30 days, and it'll give you a subset of data. You can also do more advanced filtering. So it might be show me all the incidents that were received by Project X that are related to this risk that we're running that's been open for 3 months. It's just a more advanced query. The idea is now we're looking at a subset of those issues that are in the system. And then we choose how we want to visualize those subsets. So do you want to visualize the subset in a pie graph, in a burn down chart, on a Kanban board, in a list view, as a budget burn down? You know, there's over 50 ways to visualize this type of data. And then what we do is we customize the views by role. So the executive are going to have a different interest to the project managers, to the developers, for example. So they're all looking at a very similar, well, they're looking at the same data, perhaps different or similar subsets of data, but it's all by role. So they're only getting relevant data to them and their role. And then there's a collaboration layer, which allows people to discuss the report, discuss the task or the risk, discuss the requirements document. So we've got a record of that conversation. We can look at real data. We're sharing that data. And then we have the ability to actually do something meaningful with it. But what it really does mean is we're all on the same page.
Working more efficiently and using technology to work more efficiently is a high priority for us. So being able to use tools like Confluence and JIRA and the rest of the Atlassian stack, and having people who are really knowledgeable about it, like design industries, to come in and give us a hand about setting things up, it's a necessity for us at the moment, and I'm sure for other organizations as well.